Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Java interview preparation. So earlier slide we have discussed about the type of variable in Java like static variable, non-static variable, instance variable, primitive data type as well as a reference data type. Also I have explained about the prototype of the classes and execution of the constructor, static block and non-static block. So today's topic I will cover the OOPS concept, which is very important and frequently asked to the interviewer. Right now I will explain about the what is the access modifier in a Java. So in Java there is a four type of access modifier: public, protected, private and default. So public is accessible in all the classes in your application. So suppose you are making any method or any variable, so it can be accessible by any entire classes of throughout your application. So public can access anywhere. There is no any restrictions, like suppose in one of the package you included that classes, and inside that classes you made one some of the public method as well as a public variable. So this public variable and public method can be accessible by anywhere. Okay, now we'll come to the protected. So protected accessible within the package in which it is a defined and subclass, including the subclasses declared the outside of the package. So means suppose class A contain your protected member, protected int id. Okay, that contain the package xyz. In package xyz your class is abc and abc contain the protected int id. This id can be accessible by other package and child class of the other package. Means there is another pqr is one of the another package that is extending the your abc classes. Okay, so at that time your another extended classes can access to this particular variable id. So suppose how can I explain this one? Suppose your package xyz contain abc class contain protected id. Okay, now there is another package pqr contain another class bcd, suppose. Okay, and bcd class is extending to the abc class. So inside bcd class of another package directly accessing your id. So because id is a protected member. Similar way of the protected method also. So in your classes contain the protected method, in abc classes contain the protected method, and your bcd class it is an another package, but it is extending to the abc classes. So bcd class directly access your protected method. So this is the protected functionality. So it is accessible within a package in which it is a defined. Means xyz is a package. Inside that package it is a defined the protected member as well as a subclass, including the outside of the package. Means bcd is another classes which is another package pqr. So inside that it can be accessible. Now we'll come to the private. So private is accessible only within a class which it is a defined. Means suppose class demo contain the private int id. So private is a variable which can accessible by only that particular class which it is a defining. Nobody can access this private modifier. So that's why some of the data hiding properties we can make the variable as a private, so it nobody can access outside of that class. So private visibility is a limited scope. Now we'll come to the default. So if you are declaring any variable like int id in your abc classes, inside that classes if you are not providing any of the modifier, then it will treated as a default, and default accessible within a same class and package which where it is a defining. Means class abc contain xyz package contain the abc classes, abc class contain the default variable. So within a package this variable can be accessible. Right? So public has a more visibility, protected has a some of the visibility, means within a class and outside of the inherited classes. Private can accessible by only within a classes, and default can accessible by within a class as well as a within a package. Okay, now you guys, hopefully you can understand about the modifier. Now I will explain about the pillars of the Java. There are some of the pillars where Java works, like we can say it's OOPS concept, object oriented programming concept. Okay, so in Java there is abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism. These are the four pillars in a Java which is using internally Java programming. Okay, so I will provide more depth knowledge about the abstraction, what is the abstraction, how can we achieve the abstraction, but right now I am defining only the prototype definition of the abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism. There is another part of the association which is not directly part of the OOPS concept, but it is also Java interview question, and frequently it is asked by the interviewer. So right now I will explain about the abstraction. So abstraction is hiding data so nobody can access outside. Means suppose you are defining any of the method and you are providing only just a set of services or set of information, like your classes, there is a your account classes, in inside your account classes you are providing one method like withdraw or show balance. So show balance is providing only the visibility that this is a method. The internal implementation is hiding. So that's called the abstraction. Okay. So Java, with the help of abstract classes and interface, we can achieve the abstraction. Now we'll come to the encapsulation. So encapsulation means binding data member and member function together into single unit. Means binding data means class content, data member and member function. Data member is called some of the private variable or instance variable, and member function is some of the methods. So binding into single unit means a class is binding data member and member function together into single units. It's called the encapsulation. So it's encapsulating the member function and data member, means instance variable and methods. Okay, now we'll come to the inheritance. So inheritance is acquiring a property from the parent class. Means suppose you have a two class A and class B. Class A contain your ID, name, salary. Okay, class B contain nothing. Okay, class A providing some of the methods also. So class B is extending class A. So whatever the properties is coming from the A, so B is directly accessible. Okay, so ID, name and salary directly class B can access. So means acquiring property from parent to child. So A is a parent class and B is a child class. So B can access all of the properties from A class. Okay, so this is the interface. Now we'll come to the polymorphism. So simple one line definition is one interface with multiple form. So in polymorphism there are two types of polymorphism which Java support: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So compile time polymorphism is also known as static binding or method overloading. Runtime polymorphism we can say as a dynamic binding and method overriding. So this is a basic four pillars of the OOPS concept. Okay, so if somebody is ask you, please explain about the OOPS concept, then you can provide the abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism. I will explain the later slides about the more depth knowledge about the abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism, and provide the sample program of the Java sample program of the this OOPS concept. Now we'll come to the second thing, association. Association is not directly part of the OOPS concept, but it is also represent some either relationship and has a relationship. Now either relationship represent the inheritance. You can remember this, either yani inheritance. Okay, so either relationship represent the inheritance and has a relationship represent the composition and aggregation. I will explain later about the composition and aggregation in depth. Now we'll come to the next slide. Define abstraction in Java using real-time example. So as I discuss about abstraction we can achieve with the help of abstract class as well as interface. So right now I will explain what is abstraction and how we can achieve. So hiding internal implementation, just highlighting set of services is called abstraction. Example, interfaces as well as the abstract class. So I will explain about the interface. So Java interface provide only the specification, means it is a providing only method signature or method specification. Actual implementation of that method is provided by implemented class. Example, suppose if you go to the ATM and then you want to withdraw some money, okay, so and at the ATM GUI you can see only the set of specification, means withdrawal amount, show balance, check data, check amount, saving account or current account, this type of only set of specification. You can say the internal implementation is provided by the child classes or inherited classes. So ATM GUI only provide the specification, so it is a one of the example of the interfaces. Okay, so essential detail are displayed to the user, no internal implementation. So internal, nobody can define about the nobody can see the internal implementation, just they are looking into the GUI, look into the GUI and see that only the specification. Okay, so interface can provide only specification, implementation is provided by the child class. Now define the interface in Java using the real-time example. So like a class, and interface can have a methods and variable, but the method declared in the interface are by default abstract. Or okay, so just remember, if you are creating one of the interface and interface content, you are providing void uh, public double get balance. Okay, this is your method. So this your method inside the interface is by default abstract method. Okay, interface specify what a class must to do and not. It is a blueprint of the classes, it is a providing only the blueprint of the classes. Okay, and interface is about capability, like player may be interface and any class implementing the player must be able to move, and it specify the set of method that class has to implement. Means a class, sorry, a interface is about only providing one of the classes and that contains some of the methods and variable. So the if the method which is providing the interface only provide the specification, means specification means only abstract method, there is no any implementation. Implementation is provided by the child class or implemented classes. A class is implemented in interface does not provide the method bodies for all the function specified in the interface, then the class must be declared as an abstract class. Okay, so suppose in your interface account is your interface that contain your get balance is your method, and your get method you in your interface account is implementing another classes. So the class ABC is implementing account interface, then they will have to provide the implementation of the get balance method. If the class is not providing the implementation, then the class should be declared as an abstract class. Okay, so this is the example. If your classes are implementing any of the interface and if you are not providing the method implementation inside that class, then you should declare that class as an abstract class. This is the main motive. Okay, now we'll come to the definition of real time of example of interface. So your interface is a one of the interface. Int balance is, you can see this is a balance. So balance is a your how to say, your data member. So it is a by default public static final. If you are putting externally public static final or not, internally it treated as a public static final, because in interface every data member treated as a public static final. Now the method. So method contain withdrawal amount, public double withdrawal amount. So by default either you are declaring public or not, it is a by default public abstract method. So inside till Java 7 interface contain only abstract method. It does not contain any concrete or non-abstract method. So now I am creating one classes implemented interface and implement that interface and providing the logic of this withdrawal amount. So here you can provide your logic and inside main with the help of interface reference. So see this, we cannot create the object of interface, only we can create a reference. This is a reference and with the help of this reference you can access the interface method. So this withdrawal amount with the help of I can access. So once I will call the withdrawal amount, so it will call the overridden method. So I have override this method. Okay. So get and now enter dot balance. So if I will put sys out and inside this I will print the variable, then by default public static final static variable is default value is 0, then it can print here. So default variable is a public static final and the method is a by default is a public and abstract. Okay, now we'll come to the next slide. Example of the abstract classes. So through abstract classes and interface we can achieve the data abstraction. Now we'll come abstract class I will define. An abstract class as if you are creating any class with the keyword abstract, then your class is an abstract class. Abstract class contain abstract method as well as a non-abstract method. Non-abstract means any type of method. Either it can be static or either it can be private. An abstract method is a method that is a declare without implementation. So abstract class contain abstract method. So abstract method doesn't have any body, only specification. Okay, implementation is provided by the child class or extending class of the abstract class. An abstract class may or may not have all the abstract methods. Some of them can be concrete method. So as I told you, abstract class contain abstract as well as a non-abstract or concrete method. A method defined in abstract must always be redefined in the subclass. Okay, means overriding is compulsory. If you are defining any abstract class ABC that contain one demo method, so demo is an abstract method. So class BCD extend your abstract class ABC and class BCD should provide the implementation of this demo method. Any class can contain one or more abstract method, then class should be declared as an abstract class. Okay, so if you have a one class that contain one method, abstract method, so abstract void demo method, so you are creating one abstract method, then either you should declare your class as an abstract class. So any class contain one or more abstract method must be declared as an abstract keyword and class should be declared as an abstract class. There can be no object of the abstract classes, that is a abstract class cannot directly instantiate with new operator. Okay, so suppose you are creating one class abstract class demo and inside abstract class demo there is another display method. A public abstract display is one of the method, then you never ever will create the object of the your demo class. Why? Because there is a rule that if you don't want to instantiate any class, then you can declare your class as an abstract class. Okay, so abstract should not create any object like demo d equal to new demo, and demo is an abstract class, so it restricted. So there is no there can be no object of the abstract class. If you want to access the display method, so similar way you can create a reference of that abstract class and you can provide the object of the child class, which is extending your abstract classes and providing the implementation of that your abstract method. That class object you can put inside your abstract reference, so it can directly you can directly access the particular abstract method. Okay, now an abstract class can have parameterized constructor and default constructor. It is always present in abstract class. So now I am telling to you that abstract class we cannot create an object. So how the constructor will execute? So internally the super keyword work. I will explain later slide the super and this keyword. But right now you can remember that abstract class contain the constructor. Okay, so if you are creating the child class, you are assigning the child class object to the abstract class reference. At that time your abstract class constructor invokes. Okay, now we'll come to the last slide. Example of the abstract class. So you have a class, public class, abstract class. So here the class name should be abstract. So you can see here, this is the abstract class. Okay, this is abstract, public abstract class, abstract class. Abstract is a keyword that contain abstract methods as well as a non-abstract method. So these are the abstract methods. So this is the only specification I have providing. Implementation is provided by this implemented class. Okay, so public abstract double get balance. Okay, and inside I am providing the implementation. This withdrawal amount is also I am providing implementation, and this is my public static void main, and inside public static void main, sorry, this, inside my main class there is a public static void main, and this is an abstract class. So you can see this is abstract class reference, new implementation. So the object would be implemented classes, not abstract classes. As I told you that abstract class we cannot create any object. So if you want to access any of the methods, so you can access with the help of reference variable. This is a reference of the abstract class. So get balance, withdrawal amount, both the methods you can get with the help of reference. Suppose your class implementation class is not providing your abstract class, not providing your abstract method implementation, then you should declare your class as abstract class. So here I have declared the class as abstract class. Suppose I am not providing any implementation. If I am providing the implementation, then class should not declare as abstract class. Okay, so this is the main thing. If you are not providing the implementation, then you can just declare your class as abstract class. Sorry, abstract method is as it is, your class should be declared as an abstract class. So your class should be declared as a abstract class, and you cannot instantiate of your classes. At that time you should find the another solution, or either you can extend, you can make another classes and you can extend your implemented classes. So these are the way that you can create the object of the abstract classes, and you can invoke the property of the abstract classes. And abstract class contain abstract method, non-abstract method, private method, static method. Any of the methods abstract class contain, and abstract class contain the constructor also. Hopefully guys you understood about the abstract class and interface and how we can achieve the abstraction in Java. In later slide I will discuss about the inheritance and polymorphism in a depth. Okay, so if you like my video, then please share, like, share and subscribe. So I will put more efforts and provide you the more details about the Java introduction. Thank you.